I think I'm ready. Let's start. Trial All Rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Gotcha.
Now then, to begin with,
We already know who did it.
No, we don't.
was that?
It was Hero. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
No, he didn't.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
You're one to thought
Who are you
to freaking
calling a murderer?
talk. Yeah.
I am sorry to say, Hero, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know! I don't know!
Is Hero really the killer? Or no, someone's trying to pin the blame on him. For anything else, we have to make that clear. Let's go. Make your argument. Hero's message. Okay.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Okay, Hero's message. I mean, looking at the blueprints, the handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Hero's handwriting it's pristine.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
Get ready. Okay, so this time around, hold
Are
on.
we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
This time around, I'm gonna try to be a little more, like, I'm gonna think about this a little more clearly, because last time I was really reckless. And yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Like writing with your left hand?
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
Is he calling himself a dumbass?
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
Nobody asked. Okay, sorry.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
I don't think so. But who
The
knows?
suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course, he passes it off to me. Yep, because if I goof, he's gonna be like, "You're such a fucking dumbass."
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in this suit. The Illuminati! It was definitely Hero.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
It was definitely the Illuminati.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Yes, I do.
But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Girl!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
That's a very obvious one.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The things that were used to move Taka's body when they must have been blue tarp and the dog. Here you go.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. Okay. And the tarp. Here we go.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Yep. Bitch. What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain.
Yeah. It's
Taka's
obvious.
body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
Yep.
It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
I actually don't remember if the dolly was there in the first place, but I will believe Makoto.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Yep.
But are you sure you are not mistaken? Huh?
Why?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
No, I'm not.
That
Leave me
dolly was
alone.
made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
I'm slapping you in the face.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Wow, leave me alone. Jesus Christ, guys.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Okay, them's fighting words. Girl, like, I freaking loved you, but now I'm about to fight you. Physically. Wow. I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. It had the bloodstains. Right? It was the bloodstains. New element has been added to the bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? I almost clicked not at all. Why is it in the bottom? Anyway, let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. I'm so afraid because I always forget what to do in certain parts. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the buttons, the mouse buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all, in which case you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. Oh boy. Okay. Moment of truth. Already? Holy crap.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
They still have to... Final strike.
I cannot agree.
Bloodstained. Get wrecked. Get wrecked, Celeste! Okay, sorry, I'm still fumbling a little bit with this one.
Proof that the dolly moved. I have it right here.
There you go.
I
That
found
was
the
easy.
dolly in the repository. One of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
Yep.
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much? No, she's the culprit. I'm like 99% sure of it.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Indeed. If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? He means that the suit is not meant to be bendable. Yeah. But just his costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yep.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Yep.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Indeed.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Boom, shakalaka. Wait, no?
Then you
Really?
can push the dolly no problem.
Ugh.
So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be.
I think I was just slightly off.
Sorry, I don't think I realized anything.
It's okay, boy. I'll save you. The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it, you'd have to be able to bend over. Would anyone wearing that suit have been able to actually stoop down like that? Okay, sorry, that was my bad.
Taka was killed in the equipment, and from there,
Yeah, then loaded it on.
now keep in mind that the dolly.
Well, yeah, but even without it, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Boom.
No, that's wrong.
Here we go. I guess it hit the white text. I was just slightly
You're
too
absolutely
off.
right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking
Yep.
out the suit together. Remember?
I even said it! I'm glad there's a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. It seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems
There you
like
go.
it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
You'd literally have to kick it.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Because you couldn't see crap. You couldn't even see your feet.
You can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because Hero's not strong enough. You can't take it off by yourself. We tried. We tried.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing. There's a clasp on the bag that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. If you don't really have a choice, let's help him. Here you go.
It's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
No.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Oh, poor
If he could've
Hero.
gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Yeah. What time was that taken, Celeste?
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Actually, it kind of looks like it's giving him a hug. I'll be honest. He doesn't look like he's in danger at all.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, sir. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
No, I feel like you forced him into agreeing with your little plan. She had a hold on him, like a pretty strong hold on him.
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hina!
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Thank you.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps,
Mondo.
but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself.
Yes.
We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant.
At 6. No, at 7, sorry. She was attacked at 7.
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
I really want to know what time this photo was taken, because I feel like it's going to be a lot earlier than just 7.
As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
Sorry. I'm eating chocolate at the same time. What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something move around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
I'm telling you, there's something so shady about Celeste's whole deal this time around.
And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
That was Hifumi screaming. Huh? What was that? It came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor, to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Fumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. We hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Yep. Only because she was leading us everywhere.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Nope.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Yep.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
Yes.
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. Okay, sorry. I love this music so much. Monokuma file number 3. Numero 3. Oh my gosh.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Yes.
Or perhaps it was after?
It was before.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Nope.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
No. Justice Hammers were numbered, but are they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Oh, never mind. Oh, crap. I'm not sure which one to,
Shoot!
Sorry about that, Hina. Sorry, Makoto.
So, regarding Taka,
Then-
I wonder if he got or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Wait, no. I didn't want to do that.
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice.
See? So
Okay,
obvious
then
Taka
it's the
came
other one.
after. So, regarding, I wonder if or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Oh, what? Oh, no. What?
Shoot!
Did I click the same one?
So, regarding, I wonder if or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
What? I don't...
Shoot!
Hold on. What the fuck is happening?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See?
What the fuck is happening here? I tried on both of them, right? If you choose the wrong statement or truth bullet, you will take damage. If your influence gauge reaches 0, that will end the case. Wait. What was the... Justice hammers were numbered, but...
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice.
Okay. Oh my god. I completely forgot that was a thing. Thank goodness I've been watching Corey stream it.
There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Because, yeah, my friend Corey started playing the game and I'm just like, I'm trying to rush a little bit just so I can stay ahead of him so I can watch him stream. But unfortunately, he kind of caught up like super fast. So, I'm sorry, Corey.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
But also it's a good thing because I forget some of the mechanics, so.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Right, Celeste?
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. That's the watch. Here's something that relates to what time he must have died. Oh, sick. This music, though. Excuse me while I... Wristwatch. Yeah. Where's my eye? This... Give me an A! Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Let's go.
I've got it! Taka's wristwatch. See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey, you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air, blah blah blah. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
Yep. So Celeste could have attacked Taka. Or Hifumi attacked Taka.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
No, it didn't.
We made the wrong assumption
Speak for
about
yourself.
the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That's true.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
We're all safe? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. It's bad. We gotta go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office. And that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Making stuff up.
Oh, Hiro.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Yep. Okay. Also... Okay. Just checking my notes real quick. Okay. Makoto went back to the 3rd floor to find everybody in Taka. Meanwhile, Celeste and Hina went to the bathroom. When leaving the equipment room, Celeste was on the 3rd floor to announce the body disappeared. Everybody went back to the nurse's office. So by the time that Hina and Celeste went to the bathroom, Hifumi could have gotten up and gone up to the 2nd floor. And then she went to the 3rd floor to get everybody. Everybody went down to the 1st floor. Hifumi could have gone to the 2nd floor, to the 3rd floor, and done the whole switcheroony with the bodies, and then gone straight to the art supplies room or whatever, the repository, with Taka's body, and also staged the murder there. I'm still... I don't know. Okay, let's see.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Exactly, like there's no way anybody could have moved Hifumi's body. As awful as it is, unless it's Sakura, and I'm sure she would have struggled a little bit too.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, they didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
But also, Celeste was the one to find the bodies. I feel like she killed Hifumi and then cleaned the hammer that she used, because we saw one of the hammers was clean. girl. I got you.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
But I know who it is.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Did you find an elevator or something?
What? How?
If the dead body
Oh.
were to move itself.
Thank you, Kyoko! You scared me for a second there. Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... No!
Zoink Scoop!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Yes. Also, that absolutely explains the weird blood spatter on the ground in the nurse's office. It was too weird. It didn't make a puddle, it was just like a splash in his face. It was too weird.
He was alive?
Yes, he was.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Yes.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
Like a freaking possum.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Hell yeah, it is! Make your argument. Broken wristwatch. What? Oh, Taka.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Yes. Okay. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once. But Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered at almost exactly the same time. Exactly.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Okay, sorry, I just gotta make sure.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh shit, what am I doing? Oh no, sorry. Do you just not know what you're doing? Apparently not, I'm sorry. Must have been a contradiction somewhere. My bad, my bad.
That when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. it
Can I
is
actually
impossible.
keep it? Wait.
Hifumi was dead. Without, and you know that surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah?
Are you saying
Yes,
that when we
okay, I
first
can keep
found
it.
Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Sweet.
there's a chance he was actually...
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Boom!
No, it's wrong.
That's wrong! Bitch!
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
It played a few seconds after we discovered his body, mind you.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
I'm about to die also on
First of
this.
all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Well, there was. There was. It was just later when Hifumi was actually killed. That was a whole setup. Oh my god, guys. There's blood packets in the nurse's office. Holy crap. Why is that not a piece of evidence? I'm gonna eat another chocolate. Jesus.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Monokuma.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Because Hifumi was dead then.
Huh? Later on?
Yeah.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when just after Hifumi came back to life. And both bodies were rediscovered. Shit, was it when both bodies were rediscovered?
I got it!
Yeah.
We heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. Body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It sure does.
If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Nope.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
She's so aggro in this too. Like, oh girl, what are you doing?
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Stop it. There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Let's go. Make your argument. Hifumi's glasses. Yes.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Yes.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, There was no notable difference.
Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka. Keep breaking her.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office. It was the glasses cleaning cloth. Boom. Hell yeah,
It was
getting
a
that
glasses
health back.
cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Hopefully I can keep it.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean.
Yep.
And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
So it's
And
Hifumi's.
whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Yep.
The character was
Princess Pickles.
Princess Pickles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Exactly.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Me.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Of course not.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Girl, that breaks your lenses though.
And there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
That he moved himself.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Boom.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Nope, there's blood packets in the fridge.
The fridge in the nurse's office
Thank
contains
you.
packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured
Thank
if he
you.
was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi himself. Talk on himself. It was Hifumi.
It could only have been Hifumi.
Yes.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well,
Yep.
after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository.
Yep.
But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Exactly.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yep.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
There's more? Hello, door.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The
Yeah.
item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The piece of paper. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be... this one.
I got it! talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Okay, that was kind of funny.
In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Yes, his pants, quite.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
See, then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
Nope.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
Yeah.
And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants.
I got it! That's right! Taka!
Taka. Hell yeah, he was the one holding it.
The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
Uh-oh.
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Because I'm glad she does. Otherwise I'd be like, TikTok and Huffy? What? Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Okay. Fumi's classes cleaning cloth. What? Broken wristwatch. Okay, let's see.
You have the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, cool. Time on the notes at 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? That's what I need to clear up. Okay.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Huffy!
But remember
Wee-hee!
what, the note, what time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter!
Okay, I'm just...
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Boom! Shakalaka! Sorry, I'm so hyped now that I'm doing well, finally. Even though I set it up kind of
There
bad.
absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Yep.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So it was probably Hifumi, and as he was trying to cover up his tracks, Taka was holding the paper, and he snatched it away from him, but he ripped it. Anyway,
So,
let's keep going.
Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note.
Yes.
I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
He's such a cutie. I love him so much.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Yeah.
He stole it?
Yeah.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I got it right here, baby.
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Exactly.
Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip,
Yep.
leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Exactly.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
Hifumi?
In fact, he was behind the whole thing.
Nope.
In fact, he's still alive.
He's not still alive.
Sorry, no.
He's still dead.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
Yep.
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
What? Okay, walruses? Anyway, they're cute as hell, so shut up.
Who are you calling a walrus?
Yeah!
Anyway,
You
when
big
they were
jerk.
killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
I got you, son.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Yep.
But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Shut up. Stop trying to put everybody down just to raise yourself up.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
I love him.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
Easy.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
Oh, don't you?
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then,
Guys.
what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. I have the evidence right here. Come on. Spotless hammer. Thank you. It's about darn time. Hey, Junko.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Spotless hammer.
Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon?
Because it was
How did
already...
nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No, I think it's this one.
That's about it.
Dang it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. we'll go back around. Ifumi was killed in the repository, right? So if the weapons used to kill both of them were actually similar.
What was used to kill him?
Or was it just maybe justice? Well, whatever it was, one thing, how was the culprit able to move around? So how did nobody witness them?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice.
There we go! Woohoo! We're doing so well! Holy crap!
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Well, it was actually the same thing, but you know, just not justicified.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones.
There you go. Sorry, I keep eating chocolate at the same time. If you hear like rapper sounds, it's me. My bad.
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Spotless hammer again?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Oh, I should have remembered Kyoko's thing and used it on Celeste. Okay. Can we really say there's no chance two people work together on this? Okay, I got
Based
this.
on the rules that have even if more than one, only the one who actually can.
Bye.
Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
That is how the rule was
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
There you go. Alright.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible.
Boom!
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
Yep.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
Yep.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, Then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
Yep.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still,
Shut up.
their choice of accomplice seems odd.
No, because Hifumi would do anything for Celeste. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. No, don't doubt her. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this. She's probably like ultimate investigator, ultimate detective.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Oh, I chose a bad time to take a sip of water. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debate up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit.